Mum disappeared for almost 9 weeks, leaving me to care for my younger siblings. I'm thinking if her absence could get legal and social services to come. My mum went out 2 days before Christmas and then texted me 12 hours later saying she would be gone for a week and for me to have the kids. She hasn't come back since. So almost 9 weeks. I have heard from her 3 times total and she is saying she isn't coming back anytime soon. She just keeps sending money. My siblings are 16, 13, 12, 9, and 7. I'm 19. I'm surviving looking after the kids by myself and TBH not much has changed because I did most of it when my mum was here anyway. We live with our nan but she doesn't help with them really either, and my older siblings are long moved out. I guess my question is my mum being gone a serious issue legally and with social services? I don't want to risk the kids going into care, been there done that when I was younger, so I haven't told anyone that she's gone. I'm scared of what will happen if people find out, so I'll never give a flying fuck. Getting legal custody is the outcome I want, so I'm relieved it seems like a real possibility now. I'm just doing a total overhaul of everything with the kids because I think they need a lot more structure, discipline, rules, routine than they have had until now. I have realized I don't really know anything about good parenting, so I have a lot to learn. Maybe I will get some books. Until now our house has been more like a house share with everyone doing what they want and running around feral rather than anyone really guiding the kids. I grew up even more feral and I don't think it's a good way to be raised. So I'm starting a bath and bedtime routine for the youngest 2, and a curfew for the teenagers. Because RN the 12-year-old goes off on his skateboard and will just show up again at like 10 p.m. on a school night. I've also been giving them much better food than they usually have and it's been rough to get them to eat healthy, but we have made so much progress already. Any advice on instilling rules would be welcome as I don't think it will be easy and I have never had any kind of actual parent role model in my life. Thank you SM for all the helpful comments here and messages offering help/advice. I will reply to them all when I can. RN I'm putting all my energy into the new routine and trying to sort out legal guardianship so we can get money for the kids etc. Everything else is a problem for later on when we are more settled. My older brother came up last weekend and TBH it was nice but weird. BC the younger kids don't even remember him and they pretty much clung to me for the entire time. BC having a man in the house is strange for them. But after he left they said they miss him and liked having him here. He's been sorting his shit out this week and is coming back tomorrow with all his stuff and will be working remote from our house. Me and him have spoken a lot and I think we will be able to get on the same page with the kids and make it work. I'm worried about some things with parenting differences but we will figure it out. I'm trying not to seem controlling but it's hard to adjust to someone else being very involved when I've been looking after them by myself. I know I need him though. My nan was actively trying to undermine me and we had an argument. Then my brother got here and he had an argument with her in the first half hour. So she has gone to my aunt's for a while. She is still paying the bills here but if she stops we will be okay with my brother's money and mine. My brother wants to take the kids and move house but I am not even thinking about that until everything else is sorted out. Now that things are actually changing our older sisters are more interested and have been messaging me so they might help as well. The kids are not taking the new routine too well but we are making progress so I'm trying to stick with it. I made a meal plan and have stuck to that all week. My 9-year-old sister told me she likes rules which makes it feel worth it. The teenagers are kind of a nightmare but I'm trying to persevere with them. 13-year-old was being horrific and I lost my shit which made her have an emotional breakdown and now she's been a lot better. 12-year-old has taken it okay as she just tells me I'm a loser all the time and asks for his skateboard back a million times a day but I know he knows where it is so he is being pretty good considering he could just take it back if he really wanted. 16-year-old is hell. 7-year-old has like 3 tantrums a day and won't eat or sleep so she stresses me out probably the most. My mum hasn't called anymore but is complying with giving us custody and told her friend it's the best thing that's ever happened to her. I put with her and if she tries to come back I will do everything I can to keep her away from the kids. Update 2. Hi. Not sure if doing multiple updates is okay but I have had a lot of messages since the Baru post and think it will be easier to update people who are interested like this as replying to all is hard. Thanks to advice here we have realized that getting kinship is a better choice for us financially than getting legal guardianship. This wasn't mentioned to us by the lawyer or social services so I'm so grateful for everyone here as we will have so much less financial stress on kinship and we will get access to a lot more services for the kids. Things are already seeming so much less scary. My brother has come home to help me and is working remotely for his same job which is ideal. He has been amazing at making it all happen so fast and packing up his life to move back. He is still back and forth at the moment but should be here full time besides a few days a month where he has to be there in person. Our oldest sister has said she will send some money every month to help us but doesn't want to be involved other than that. I understand why and am very grateful she is helping. Honestly it hurts a bit that she refuses to talk about the kids or anything but she is doing what she can handle. RN I guess. Our other sister is working FIFO right now and has suggested coming back on her weeks off to help out but I'm not sure if that will actually happen or work well in reality. My brother doesn't get along with her very well and says he doesn't think living with her again will work. The kids are still struggling with the new rules and we have had some issues. 16-year-old hates me so my brother is trying to take over with her. BC I am bored of fighting with her. The others are doing better but still so difficult. 7-year-old wants sleep which is the hardest thing right now. BC then I can't sleep and I'm tired AF. She has meltdowns when she's tired and she's always tired now so she's always having meltdowns. I'd what to do with her. Everything I try to make her sleep doesn't work that well. She says she doesn't know why she won't sleep, so I'd to even start. My brother tried to get her to bed and she just cried and screamed for me. 12-year-old is listening to our brother, which is the best thing to ever happen because I was really worried about handling him since he listens to me never. 13 and 9-year-old are easier and not stressing me out too much, so we are kind of divide and conquer now. My brother handles 2 and I handle the other 3. I have found out I am very protective of the younger ones and find it very difficult to let my brother discipline them, so it causes less problems between us if I deal with them still early days, and hoping consistency will fix a lot of the smaller issues. Long term we want to rent somewhere bigger as our nan's house is very cramped and making things harder. This is long and messy, sorry. Just wanted to update everyone who has asked and thank everyone again for the advice. Update 3. Back with another update for those who asked. Can't believe it's been over 3 months now. We applied for kinship and have had the provisional approval and the home inspection and some interviews. We've got a couple more things to do / still ongoing, and then we should be good. We got our first payment, which has been so good and really made me feel much more optimistic about everything. We will be able to actually do something other than just survive. The caseworker pretty much told me they don't want to have to find placements for this many kids, so us keeping them is their much preferred option, which is reassuring. My mum hasn't contacted me for a while. We thought she might show up on Easter. Holidays are usually her time to cry about how much she misses our dad, and she usually prefers to ruin everyone's day with that. But she didn't come, thank God. Our nan is still at our auntie's. She can't stand to be around us apparently. Me trying to feed them good food and not let a 7-year-old disappear for hours on bicycles with kids 3+ years old than her is just me thinking I'm better than my nan. A lot of people said to try and co-sleep with 7 years old, so I have started doing that. It's helping a bit and she actually will lay down, so that's a win, but she still cries a lot and tries to get up. She also does a death grip on me, so I have kind of accepted that I have to go to bed when she does. It's not the worst thing ever. I've been looking things up and reading online whilst I lay with her when she eventually calms down. I've ordered melatonin to try. I share a room with 16 years old and she doesn't want 7 years old in there, but it's kind of tough. I can't do anything about it until we can move house, which isn't going to be soon. It's not the most peaceful night with her in there. She kicks me and wakes up at random times trying to chat or crying, but we are getting some sleep. She slept in my single bed with me from 4 months old until she was like 2. I clearly knew nothing about safe sleep, but my mum had sold the crib to try to annoy my dad, so she actually had nowhere else to sleep, and I haven't told her that. I don't want to tell her mum didn't care that she didn't have a bed, but she seems to remember. She said we used to have sleepovers in your bed a lot, didn't we? Also, I got 16 years old earplugs and told her she can sleep in 7 years old's bed in the other room if she prefers. I do my best to try to soothe 7 years old in general. She had one of her crying breakdowns last week and said she didn't feel safe or happy. Then she said she wishes I was her real mummy. I told her I am her real mummy. I've looked after her whole life and I won't ever leave her. She seems a bit happier since then. I'm going to get a photo of us for her to have in her little purse she carries everywhere. She's pretty sentimental, so she will like that. Yesterday she asked me if me and our brother are married. Lol, obviously I said no, and she said I just feel like you are my mom and dad. I hope that's a good thing, even if it is a little weird. She is definitely bonding with him too. She always wants me to carry her around, and when I say no, I'm busy, he offers to do it and she lets him now. She used to ignore him. Seeing her snuggle into his neck and actually relax is the cutest thing. Makes my heart happy. I remember wishing I had a dad who would hold me, and I'm so glad she is getting all the love. Me and my brother have had a few disagreements over discipline. He is pretty strict and usually that's a good thing. They needed TBH, but sometimes I find it a bit much. Biggest disagreement was when he smacked 9 years old and I lost my shit. We grew up with a lot worse in NGL. I have smacked them before, but I don't want to be doing that anymore. Bro thinks there's nothing wrong with one smack on the bum. I would just rather we don't go there. He said he won't do it again, and I don't think he will. He wasn't angry when he did it, so I'm not really concerned about it, and he apologized to 9 years old. We're just still trying to figure out discipline. Our dad used an electric cord as a whip, so one smack on the bum is practically gentle parenting to us. I have read enough to know we don't want to be doing any physical disciplining. The worst thing I've had to do is give the youngest 2 suppositories. My sister gave me money to take them to the GP. I was worried about them and couldn't find any for free and didn't want to wait for kinship. Turns out they are both malnourished, underweight and constipated AF. And they've missed some vaccines. For the constipation we tried medicine and more fiber and more water, but no bueno, so it had to be the suppositories. The doctor said it was verging on severe. I tried to explain it to them and make the whole thing easy, but it turned into quite the drama. 9 years old was easier, but still took me a while. 7 years old was impossible and everyone got too stressed on day 1, so we left it, and she was still not complying on day 2, so my brother had to get involved and pretty much had to hold her down. I called the doctor and she said either we do it or I take her in, and they do it. So we had no choice really, and I still feel horrible about it. I'm obsessed with what they're eating now. I do not want anyone going through that again. But I will say they are a lot better since. They aren't getting tummy aches and they aren't so grouchy. And it has helped 7 years old with her sleep for sure. We are getting the other 3 to the doctor next week. We will do telehealth after, but I want them to see someone in person for the first appointment. After that, the next thing on the list is dentist. We have looked at therapy and should be getting telehealth sessions soon. So far all 3 teenagers have said they aren't doing therapy, but I will try to make them at least try it. 16 years old is still difficult. She took my ID and she was going out whenever she liked. But my brother grounded her and she has actually listened and not tried to sneak out. The other 3 are doing okay. No big issues with them, tbh, they are adapting pretty well I think. I try to talk to them all about everything when I can and they all seem to understand what's going on and trust that we won't be going anywhere and we just need them to cooperate with us so we can get through. My little brother J12 is obsessed with older bro. I used to have an issue with Jay going out every evening for hours and was so stressed about trying to keep him home and safe, but Matt being here has basically eliminated the issue. Jay just wants to be around him all the time and Matt has somehow got this kid thinking doing homework with him is the best thing ever. Sorry this is so long again. How long I will keep doing these updates, but for now everyone is so incredibly helpful that I will carry on posting. BC I always need more advice. The advice and support from everyone in the comments and PM has been amazing and has actually helped change our day-to-day life for the better, so thank you SM Internet strangers. My previous posts explain everything, but short version is our mom left right before Christmas and am now looking after my 5 younger siblings. 16 years old has been and a pain in the ass the whole time. So unhelpful, permanently grumpy and arguing about everything and winding up the younger ones just to be annoying. Basically making my life harder every chance she gets. She got her phone confiscated today. BC she was videoing our little sister having an emotional meltdown and laughing at her. Later on, whilst I was putting the phone away, I saw a message from our mum pop up saying some horrible shit. My mum hasn't messaged me in weeks and 16 years old doesn't mention messaging her at all, so I was like WTF. Took me a few attempts to get into her phone, but I got in and saw so many messages. Mostly her begging our mum to come home and our mum either ignoring her or telling her to come to the city. She's in RN. 16 years old sent her so many messages saying our younger siblings need her and our mom replied saying I think I know how to raise them better, so she is leaving me to it since I don't want her here. Most recent one was 16 years old asking why she doesn't care about us and our mom basically saying she has better things to do than sit here and listen to us all tell her everything she is doing wrong all the time. I knew she was having a hard time, but reading her messages to our mom has broken me and I just want to stop her hurting so much. She basically hates me right now, so comforting her is very hard. BC she will not open up even a bit and whenever I speak to her about it she acts like she doesn't care. I'd what to do or say to her. Meanwhile my older sister just calls me periodically to tell me she wishes she could help but she can't. BC have a list of reasons including but not limited to her not being able to face being around our youngest sister. BC our parents said she was her replacement and older sis can't get over it. Which is like, okay, but baby sis just turned 7 and big sis is almost 25. So at some point she needs to try get past that and realize it's not the little one's fault. And big sis is struggling. BC she feels like I'm her kid apparently. And D she wanted me to come live with her when I was younger but I chose to stay here and let my mum get away with not parenting. But the alternative is my siblings being neglected and abused like we were. Anyway I don't have time to be dealing with her emotional issues on top of everyone else's. And she's whining to me like oh I had to take time off work. BC I'm having a hard time mentally. Which makes me feel so great when I am working my ass off to feed 5 kids and dealing with a million behavioral issues a day and don't have time to do anything before everyone starts shouting therapy. Yeah, it's in the works. Trying to get telehealth arranged but it's taking forever. We can't afford anything else, so that's the best we have for now. Until then it's good old fashioned just get on with it and try not to fuck the kids up any more than they are already. Update 4. Another update. BC my inbox is still flooded and I can't reply to everyone, so just going to say it all here for you guys and anyone else who wants to know. Been like 5 months now. JFC firstly, thank you for all the nice messages and offers of help and stuff. I really do appreciate it and sorry if I haven't replied, but I have had literally hundreds of messages and it's kind of overwhelming for me. I have read most of them and am still trying to reply to more, but it's a big job. Currently things are going okay. Big things that have happened / are happening. My older sister, the second oldest, is coming to visit soon. The relationship between her and my older brother is kind of strained. BC of some shit that happened when they were younger and the 3 older ones all lived together for a bit after leaving home. Honestly I think it was just a shit show having 3 damaged teenagers living together in a new place with no support. I don't have time to be the mediator though, so just told them if they can't get along then my sister will need to leave. BC the kids don't need any more drama and my brother needs to focus on being a parent. She's coming. BC she wants to, and she said she won't cause any drama, she just wants to help. We'll see how it goes anyway, but I'm low-key dreading it. Last time I saw this sister was years ago though, so I'm trying to not think she's going to be the same as she was when she was a teenager. We have started planning to move to WA. My brother is desperate to get out of our town and not have to worry about our parents showing up. He gets a lot of anxiety about it. He doesn't like me being at home without him being here. His job will help him move over there and he has been set on it for a while now. We will be able to transfer over there even with the kids being on kinship care, which is basically the only thing I was worried about. But that's confirmed, we will be fine to do it, so now I'm on board with it. Won't be any time soon, but hopefully end of the year we can move. Financially we are doing pretty good. We have the kinship money, mine and my brother's wages, and my older sisters have been sending money consistently. My brother is good with money and we are able to save some. I was able to buy the kids a small present each to cheer them up on Mother's Day. They have like barely any toys, so the little ones are psyched to have some things to play with and have been being feral outdoors way less this week. They have been playing Lego and Barbies like normal children. 7 years old sleeps so good when I give her melatonin. I don't do it every night, but when I do it's like a mini holiday. She sometimes wakes up mad, but I can deal with that when I have actually slept. Other nights when she doesn't have it, I either keep her downstairs and hope she will fall asleep on me or my brother whilst watching TV, or I go through the emotional bedtime routine of her crying and saying she doesn't want to go to bed whilst I read the same 3 stories until she chills out. She is doing better at school again now. It was pretty bad for a while. Obviously BC, she was permanently exhausted and surviving on literal our only BC. The kid wouldn't sleep or eat. Right now 9 and 13 years olds are doing the telehealth therapy sessions. 7 years old won't speak to the therapist, so she's having indirect help through me. 12 years old hates it, so my brother is trying to learn techniques to do with him to help him. 16 years old refuses, which I was expecting anyway. Tried to force her to do it and that didn't go well. So again I just try to give her indirect help. I had some one-to-one time with her recently and she was different in a good way. She lets her guard down when the younger kids aren't there. Like she can be vulnerable or whatever. She said, "Thank you for looking after us," to me on MD. Haven't seen any more messages on 16 years old's phone from our mum. She has completely stopped messaging any of us. The last thing she said to me was she doesn't know why I'm turning her kids against her. Kinda hilarious TBH, but just proves she is deep into Lulu land. On Mother's Day 7-year-old went outside 4 times before 8 a.m. to make sure mom isn't coming down the road, and she has been crying about our dad, not sure why exactly. When I ask she just says she's worried about him. 9 years old gets annoyed with her and tells her to stop crying because our dad is a bad person. She is also very defensive of me and my brother and tries to police all the other kids and tells them to behave and be nice to us and don't argue/backchat/misbehave. I think she's concerned we will get fed up and leave. OFC, I reassure her we won't and she doesn't need to tell the others off. It's kinda funny anyway TBH because she is no angel herself. Their diet is a lot better. We still have issues every meal of every day, but overall it's better and they are doing well with trying to eat new things. Years of ramen and chicken nuggets has obviously been horrible for our bodies. But they all have at least one fruit or veg a day and have real dinners. They like pasta bake, so that's the new ramen around here. My brother cooks curry and tries to get them to eat it, but that doesn't go down so well. They like when he makes chicken and potatoes. 7 years old likes bluey pouches of vanilla custard and would eat those for every meal if I let her. My oldest sister is still a pain in the ass and wants to talk about our trauma all the time. She just has more time to dwell than I do. I have no time to dwell. I asked her to please not message me unless it's positive or helpful. Her reply showed she really is just jealous that I am giving all my time and energy to the kids, but I really don't have it in me to look after an adult's emotional needs as well. She sees me as her kid and she wants to see me but doesn't want to see the younger ones. Like she asked me to come visit and leave them with my brother for a few days. I'm not going to leave insecure kids who are permanently stressed that I will leave for good. Imagine how stressed they would be the whole time. She also thinks I'm babying them. But I'm just treating them like children. Mostly it's just annoying that she is like this, but it's also partly upsetting because TBH, there is nothing I would love more than for her to meet and love 7-year-old. For me it would be like my mom meeting my child. BC, my oldest sister raised me when I was really young and 7 years old is the only one of the kids I have fully raised since she was a tiny baby, and my mom told me she didn't want her anyway. I'm trying not to get too caught up in everything with my older sister because I have enough going on with all the kids. My grandma is still at my aunt's house and very unhelpful. But she's not bothering me much, so that's ideal. She mentioned wanting my cousin to move in here because he got kicked out by his girlfriend and has nowhere to live. But fuck that father, he's a creep and a drug addict, so no way is that happening. Over my dead body, this has taken me like 3 days to finish writing and I have probably forgotten some stuff, but really just wanted to say thanks for the support, and I'm not ignoring my messages, I just am busy and overwhelmed.